What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm going to try to make this as digestible as possible. I've recorded this a few times actually, so I should be relatively polished and warmed up by now, right? All right, let's get into it. I'm hitting here at Arden Hills, and the tennis academy, I believe, is called JMG. You can see it there on the wind guards. My buddy in the red shirt gets me into this place, but this is actually where Jensen Brooksby trains. Pretty cool. I might use that in the thumbnail to get more views. We'll see. But yeah, Jensen Brooksby trains here. He's like a legit ATP tennis pro. And yeah, he's out here all the time. I guess when he's not on the tour traveling to wherever he goes to play tennis, he's out here training. I actually haven't personally seen him, but my buddy in the red shirt sees him out there all the time. He's like a member there, so, you know, he's out there more regularly than I am. But yeah, it's nice to be able to hit here. It was really cool to be able to check this place out. It's kind of been on my radar for a little while. I've wanted to see it, and now I get to play there sometimes. It's a really nice facility. So it's cool to be able to have this footage for you guys. I have some good news. So I made that Toroline video, and ever since that video, I actually have a coupon code now. So you can use my coupon code to get 20% off of strings at Toroline.com. I'm sure some of you by now are very well aware that Wasabi is one of my favorite strings of all time. I hit with a ton of spin. It's one of the only strings to survive. Honestly, it's the only string to survive as long as it has. I guess I always get like 2 to 4 more hits out of this, which is a lot for me because I break strings like every 4 days. If I'm using Hyper G or Tour Bite or like Luxilon, 4G, Alu Power, RPM Blast, Ytex Quadro Twist, literally all of those guys only last me somewhere between like 3 and 5 hits. And Toroline always lasts me like 7 or 8 hits, and that's a massive difference. And this video is not about that string, so I'm not going to talk about it too long, but there's a reason I really wanted that Toroline Wasabi code. So yeah, check out their website, Toroline.com. You can get 20% off with my discount code Time for Tennis. It's one of the sickest strings ever made. And if you're a spin heavy player, I guarantee that you will really appreciate that string. Honestly, if you're not that spin heavy of a player, I'm not really sure you'll notice much of a difference. But if you are, and you're putting a lot of RPMs on that string, I think you will notice the difference. So definitely check out Toroline Wasabi and use my code Time for Tennis to get 20% off. All right, more good news. Courtside Tennis. That is a company I've mentioned a few times. They've been really nice to me and have been giving me demos and stuff and products to review. So they've given me access to some of their resources and products so that I can make content, and in exchange I give them a little bit of a shout out. Now, I want to keep it real with you guys. I actually really appreciate this shop a lot. And me and this shop have gotten into some agreement. Long story short, I will be making more content for them and with them, and I think there's going to be some collaborative effort here. All in all, I think it's a big win for all of us. You guys are going to get better and more content through me, and because of that, I will have more access to resources and so on as a content creator, so that's great for me. And for them, it brings them more attention and hopefully some business as a tennis retailer. They're a local area shop, but their locations are wonderful. I'll definitely get some footage of their shop sometime so you guys can get a little tour with me. But they have an online shop as well, courtsidetennis.com, and they're legit. They got all the good stuff. There's no reason not to buy from Courtside Tennis, honestly. And if you guys want to shop for tennis gear and support my channel and that business at the same time, that's a great way to do it. You guys can support the company that's helping me make great content. It helps me, it helps them, and it makes no difference to you whether or not you guys are buying from the big names or from courtsidetennis.com. You can buy a racket through them and get fast shipping to your house, free shipping, free stringing labor, all that kind of stuff. And they got a lot of gear and a lot of accessories. I'll leave it at that. I look forward to making some content with them. It's going to be great. And for the final part of this video, I want to talk about some of the content I plan to make in the future. So I'm actually looking to level up my content a little bit all around, but it's a lot of work. Having a video idea is one thing, and then fleshing it out is a whole other thing. And then you actually got to record it, edit it, which is a lot of work, and then upload it. And you got to upload it with a nice thumbnail and a nice title that is honest to what the content actually is, but it's got to be eye-grabbing as well. It's got to get the attention, but you got to get the right kind of attention. And honestly, if you do a great video but have a bad thumbnail and a bad title, you're losing a huge percentage of your views. Like, you might lose 90% of the potential views because your thumbnail sucked, which is so disappointing. You put hours and hours of work into the video, and that one little thumbnail, that can make or break that video. It's crazy. So yeah, it's a lot of work. I've made sure to not make this channel too much work. That way I don't feel overwhelmed anytime I have a video idea, but I'm trying to get a little better about stepping up content, how I can do better, and I think I have over time, but I think it's time to level up again. And working with Courtside Tennis definitely gives me access and resources to be able to level things up. So with that said, I want to mention a little bit about some of the content I plan to do in the very near future. One thing I want to share is my racket design. That might be my next video. I'm sending it in for a custom paint job to a company called CTR. They're in Florida. They've done a lot of paint jobs for pros and so on. They do great work, so I hear. So I'll be sending my racket out to them. And after it's done, I'll share it on here, see what I think of the paint job, the quality control, the accuracy, the detail, and all that. But I've already asked them a lot of good questions, and I've gotten a lot of good answers. So far I feel like I can trust that it's actually worth sending my racket in for a paint job. Anyway, when I make a video about that, before I send it in, I will actually make a video sharing what my design is. I want you guys to see what this custom design I'm planning out actually looks like. So I'll go into the details of that. I'll show you what color it's going to be. I'll probably bring up the whole Photoshop file or something like that and zoom in on the details and go over with it. And there's a little bit of like symbolic meaning and stuff. Maybe I'll get into that too. But yeah, I think it'll be cool to share with you guys what my custom racket design is. And then after that's actually done, when I get the racket sent back, we can see how it actually turned out. That should be cool. And you know, maybe if you guys really like how things turned out, it's possible that you guys would send your racket into this company to get your racket done too. So we'll see. If I think they did a really good job, I'd probably recommend it. So that's an idea I look forward to doing soon. Another thing I want to talk about is Alcaraz. So he's #1 in the world right now, and to be honest, I'm not surprised. I thought it was just a matter of time. I have a good friend with great knowledge and interesting observations who I will have join me sometime on a conversation about Alcaraz as well as some of the next gen players. And I don't know exactly where that whole conversation is going to go, but I'll make sure that that is like a priority topic for that conversation. This guy is a legit tennis nerd, but also a very close friend of mine, and he's been in some of my content very briefly. So he might be a familiar face to some of you guys. Another video I plan to do is, well, I've been posting a lot of polls on here on YouTube. I've been asking you guys questions and leaving multiple choice answers. You guys have given a lot of feedback, some of which I wasn't too surprised by, and some of which I really was surprised by. So I think going over some of those questions and answers and the multiple choice thing, I think that'd just be a fun video to do. So I really look forward to that one as well. I also might talk about my custom tennis bag. I might make a video about stringing rackets and see if it's for you or not. I know that there's people out there that want to string, but they're a little anxious getting started, don't know where to start, etc. I want to make a cool video about stringing that isn't a stringing tutorial, but it's more like an intro to stringing or something. We'll see. That's been kind of a tough video. I've tried a couple times, but it's a little bit tricky to get right, but I'm working on it. I also want to talk about my top 5 tennis shoes. I've been trying a lot of tennis shoes recently. Because of supply shortages, I've always had to have like a plan B and a plan C in case stuff is out of stock. So recently I have formulated a lot of good opinions on quite a few tennis shoes that fit my criteria. So I will be making a video about that. I will also be making a video about my favorite tennis balls. I might even do like a little tier list of my favorite ball to my least favorite ball. I think that'd be fun. And I made somewhat of a poll about that, like what your favorite balls are, and I was actually surprised by that, but I'll talk about that in that video when I do it. So all that fun stuff and more, if that sounds good to you guys, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And I look forward to seeing you there. You can also follow my IG just like you see it on the YouTube channel. It's Time for Tennis, my clothing brand if you want to check that out. That is isn't.co. I'll leave it at that for now. I'll see you guys in a future or past video. Alright, take care for now. I hope you guys are playing some good tennis when you find the time. Alright, that's all for now. Alright, I'll catch you in another one.